Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Sunburn and I'm sweaty, so let us just move past that. This is really quite serious. I've been running around with my kids all day. This is absolutely disgusting. So I'm just gonna get straight on into it. I'm not gonna waste your guys' time. Let's just get straight into it. I'll leave it linked down below. Let's just get into it. So exclusive, YouTuber mum Ruby Franke appears in court and turns on her children, making outrageous claims about their behaviour and accusing them of sexual abuse. That is the title. I'm just gonna give a forewarning. I've read this through 2 or 3 times just to double check what is going on. It's an extremely triggering topic of conversation and I am furious, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are furious as well, but trigger warnings right there. That is what this is going to be about. Okay, so mother of 6 Ruby Franke sobbed in court as she appeared for a shelter hearing for her 4 minor children to determine custody. Speaking to the public courtroom Thursday, the Mormon mum at times broke down as she made shocking claims that one of her minor children actually abused their sibling and molested several other family members and children in the neighborhood over the years. I literally have 0 words, and that's not because I believe her ridiculous story. I'm going to try and not swear because I don't want to have this flagged up and not be able to get out to the people it needs to get out to. Obviously, I don't believe her. None of this, I believe. The popular YouTuber was arrested along with her business partner Jody Hildebrandt last month and charged with 6 counts of felony child abuse after one of her sons was discovered with open wounds and duct tape on their limbs. Franke, 41, appeared via video from a Utah jail where she remains on a no bail hold at least until her next court appearance scheduled for Friday. This woman shouldn't be allowed out, point blank, period, but I'm not the greatest with law. The court hearing presided over by Judge Bazell lasted just 30 minutes, and inside was Franke's husband Kevin with his attorney Randy Kester. At another table were the state attorneys and what appeared to be Franke's 2 oldest daughters, appearing to be accompanied by attorney as well. I'm just going to pause it for this. This basically clarifies that Kevin and Ruby have separate attorneys. I always thought they had separate attorneys from the very beginning. Of course, I've made some comments alluding to the fact that I'm not sure why Kevin Franke decided to leave, but I've never said that I think he is involved with this particular case because there has been no evidence to suggest he has. People have been saying they have the same attorneys. I didn't think they had, and they don't. Aiming to pin the blame for her behaviour on her children, Franke went into horrific detail about how one of her kids abused other children. She claimed that one of the Franke kids began looking at pornography at just 3 years old. In one of the most shocking claims, she said that her child had been abusing a younger sibling for years, adding that eventually the 2 of them began to abuse other children. Let me get this right. Is she insinuating that her other children, like, this is obviously a separate thing, and I don't actually believe this for a second. I'm actually absolutely furious. Is she saying that her children were actually responsible for the open wounds, the duct tape, etc., etc.? If it is true that this is, which I don't think it is, why were all of her younger children found in that state? I think she is saying whatever the hell she is trying to say. She's trying to say anything. And this is sick. This is someone who is sick in the head, in my own opinion. She also claimed her 2 children played a patting game with each other, but did not go into further detail. Franke said that in May, her child confessed to abusing 20 people, including cousins and neighbours. Once again, where is the proof in this? Where's the proof? She provided no proof of her sickening allegations. Of course she didn't. The court went eerily silent after Ruby made the claims. The judge then said that her abusive child will then need to be placed in a home with no other children. I'm actually kind of annoyed at this because, well, this means that her kids are not going to be going back to the family. This basically means that her kids are going to be separated and put into alternative housing with foster homes, all that kind of stuff. At least this is what it reads to me. It might be different to you guys. This is exactly what Jody and Ruby wanted. I just have this feeling like they've been planning this. If this was true, then her other kids would clarify, or the older kids would clarify, or something. But to lay the blame. The thing is that by the sounds of it, she's taking no responsibility for causing hurt to any of the children, and that child, I don't know which child it is, I do not want to know, I already hate reading this out, that child also suffered the same thing. She, instead of going, yeah, me and Jodie did do that, she's completely backtracking, and because she's completely backtracking and putting it all onto a completely separate issue, I think she's lying. I really think she's lying. You've then got open to the public hearing officer. The judge set the next hearing for September 15th, mediation hearing, and a September 18th pre-trial hearing. I'm going to leave this up here. I will say it once, I'll say it again. I'm not the greatest with law. I've never studied law. I don't look at a lot of court documents. So anyone who wants to make sense of that can look at it right here. I'm sorry that I can't go into more depth detail. I'm sure someone great is going to come along and take that. Franke's husband Kevin, wearing a dark suit, sat at the table with his attorney, looking straight ahead as his wife made the sickening allegations. I can't even imagine what must be going through his head right now. In a surprising courtroom move, an attorney who was sitting in the public viewing area stood up and asked the judge to hear details about the molestation of another child because a mother of one of the victims was in the courtroom. The judge denied the request, citing that details of the abuse can be heard at a future time. I don't understand the way judges work. I can understand that this isn't a trial, that they're not trying to get to the bottom of it, but if she wasn't able to provide the evidence, then surely enough you could give some evidence into her claims. Like, outside of court, Daily Mail attempted to get a comment from the mother whose kid was allegedly molested by the Franke child, but they refused to speak. I'm imagining they're refusing to speak because it's a load of bollocks, but who knows. I'm really trying my hardest not to I know that this kind of stuff happens. I'm not an idiot. I know that this kind of stuff can happen within children. I freaking hate sitting here and talking about this from a child's perspective because that goes against everything that my channel is. But the thing is that Ruby and Jodie are not for 1 minute saying that they had any part in this. By the sounds of it, at least this is what this is reading as, that they literally put all the blame on a child, and because they're putting all the blame of a child and not saying that any of that was them, even though it blatantly is, it makes me feel like they're making it all up. That's just my own opinion. You guys might have a different one. Kevin Franke and his attorney Randy Keister left the courthouse about an hour later and gave no comment when asked if he believed his wife's shocking allegations. Keister said he's been instructed by the court not to comment to the press. Out of respect for the children involved, we have no comment. It's now starting to make a little bit more sense as to why Kevin Franke didn't say anything. Does he agree with these charges? Does he agree with this? Does he not? It's starting to make a little bit more sense because, of course, this is sick. This is absolutely disgusting. Set the next hearing for September 15th. The judge told Ruby Franke that if she is released from jail, she will need to attend the hearings in person, and if not, they'll have to make accommodations for transportation. Anyway, Shari also said that she is so glad they finally decided to step up and that her siblings are safe. The 20-year-old shared an image of police officers outside the family Springville, Utah, and then it then goes on to say more about the backstory of what happened. So I've just read out the bit that we don't know. First and foremost, I just want to say I'm actually completely speechless. I'm actually not going to comment any further on the ins and outs of what she is actually alleging, because she is talking about a small child. I don't know which child she's talking about. I don't want to know which child she's talking about. In my head, I think it's bollocks. I know this kind of stuff does happen, but for that kind of stuff to happen whilst you're being charged with literal torture and neglect and like not feeding your children, when you're being charged with that and this is what you come out with, I don't believe you. And I'm not gonna dissect any of the stuff that they're saying about a child, because that goes against everything that I stand for on this channel. I think that Ruby and Jodie are absolutely diabolical. I think they're disgusting. I was having like a really, no, it sounds really stupid, but I was actually having a really nice day, and then I went and I read that. It popped up on my feed. And yeah, I'm absolutely sickened by the whole thing. And yeah, she's not pleading guilty, she's pleading not guilty, and she's shifting all the blame onto her child. That's all we've got for right now. I'm sure there's going to be more that's coming out, but I just wanted to talk about that direct thing, and I'm sure there might even be like a video you could possibly see. But that's basically all there is for me. I'm really saddened by this move that they're deciding to do, really sickened by it, and I know that all of you guys, not just some, I know that all of you guys are going to be like that as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Please take care of each other, take care of yourselves, take care of your mental health, especially as like you get flooded with all of this like shitness, and you know, life is already hard enough without having to listen to this crap, this shit pile, do you know what I mean? Yeah, have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.